Hello, here we are. This is for me August 31st. I don't think I'm going to be warming anything else, so I figured I would start my monthly check-in like I normally do, going through my wax numbers. Then I'll give you my little update, life wellness update, and then I'll talk about, yeah, some things that are on my mind. Specifically about simplifying and it's tied to wax. I mean, wax is part of that low buy, but then it's also not just in wax, but like what else do I just want to declutter and get rid of or use up, right? So I'll talk a little bit about that. And I'll have to look at my notes about what else I plan to talk about. But those are the main things. I am going to talk about the stuff I got rid of as well. That is fragrance related, body care, all that stuff. And then later on this month, I will share either this month or dipping into October, some of the empties that I've accumulated in the month of August and up to whenever I record that video. I'm also recording a vlog today a little bit, so a lot going on today, but it's been a good month. August just it flew by. It flew by. So lots to talk about. So if you want to catch up with me, see my wax numbers, what I'm working through, and kind of maybe also give you some, yeah, some not so much tips necessarily, but like I said, I'm going through the simplify mode and how I got here, and maybe it'll help you as well if you're also trying to do a low buy, no buy. So here we go. So before we start the actual video, I started putting some fall warmers out and I wanted to share them here. This is not the end result. I mean, as we get closer to Halloween, I will move things around, put some Halloween warmers out, but I was in a fall mood to get some fall decor out, so I decided to put some things out while I was pulling out some warmers over the weekend. And this first one here is a great one. It is Forever Fall. It's a mosaic warmer and it works really, really well. I love these mosaic ones. I have one for Christmas as well, but that's a really good one. Then it's Starry Pumpkin and Tiger's Eye. Both of these pumpkins I just love as well. Tiger's Eye was actually my first Scentsy warmer when I started back in 2022, and then Starry Pumpkin. Little by little, I've been collecting pumpkins. Now this one, I forget the name of it. It's Tree of Life, or I'm not sure, but this was one where it came out last year. I saw Chris's video showing her warmers, and this is something that in person, it just looks so much nicer than on video, and I really like this one. This one I think is called Fall Sweet Fall. I want to say I picked it up last year. Normally it's upstairs in the guest room, but you know, it's hanging out downstairs for a little bit until I move things around. And then this is a mini warmer. It's probably the only Halloween quote unquote decor I have right now. This one's called Cut It Out, and I got this one on clearance. Here is the Fairy Tale Pumpkin. This is gorgeous. I love that one so much. And then Boo Crew. I picked this one up last year and it's a great element warmer. So that's it for my warmers. Okay, so starting with my numbers here I am in my spreadsheet. I made some changes to my, this spreadsheet is always evolving, but I am down to 635 from 806 from when I started. And in 2024, I had 1,073. So it's, slow moving because on average, I maybe get through about 41 pieces of wax. And I have been melting more of like tubs, brittles, things like that. I mean, clamshells are easy. So I've been using, I think on average, about 140 ounces a month. So for August, I brought 10 in. So those were the 10 new Scentsy scents for fall and winter. So I brought those 10 in. ChatGPT talked me out of the harvest, and I have no regrets about not getting the harvest collection. I think there are one, maybe two scents from there that I do want to try. One of them being, is it the honey spiced pumpkin or the honey pumpkin one? That one I do want to try, and I can just throw that into an in and out club. But I used up 39, so, kind of consistent. I used 39 in May. So it's bringing my average to about 41 a month. And when I take out, the 10 that came in, my net usage was 29. But I do really like to pay attention to ounces. I know not everyone uses ounces, but for me, that's where the real story is because, 2.5 ounces versus a tub, I mean, that's a big difference, right, on how much you're using up if one thing is one thing. So in ounces, I used 135.5 ounces. So it was a pretty good, maybe the fourth best month I've had. I melted a lot in January. And then I think February was pretty high as well. So was March, and then I kind of fell into using less. No, actually July was a lot too. So yeah, I've been, up and down on how much wax I've been using, but I ended up using up 135.5 ounces approximately. So that's how I've been doing. So this number here, I added this little calculation here at the bottom. It says 477. And so that is basically saying if I had brought in nothing, like if I'd done a no buy this year, I would be at 477 pieces of wax instead of 635. So it's like that's closer. That's very close to where I'd want to be, right? My goal keeps changing, but that 400, 300, 400 range was where I wanted to hit. So, I only brought in 10, I don't know. Yeah, the 60, I'm pretty sure that's what I ended up paying for per bar, I think is what that came to. So that's all I purchased in August. So again, I'm doing really good. I'm doing really good. I'm very happy and of where I'm at. It's been consistently being intentional. And when I have that craving, when I have that urge to buy something, I will. And I talked about this in the ChatGPT video that I made. I will drop it into my little money coach and it talks me off the ledge sometimes. Sometimes you just need that friend to say, give you a very logical reason on why. Sure, that's a solid purchase. Like maybe I need to repurchase something I've run out of, right? And of something. Or maybe, yeah, think about it, or no, don't buy that. So it has helped me. I will do a deeper dive of that video of like going into that money coach piece of it. But I did do that and it talked me into not buying the harvest, and I'm thankful. This is a new pivot table that I threw in here, similar to the last one, but I wanted to see what my starting goal was, which I had before, and then what I've brought in total. That's the part that I was missing from this other, the one maybe you're used to seeing. Like how much did I buy in total? Because I wasn't sure. I just had the difference between like today's current inventory and in the beginning of the month or beginning of the year, sorry. But I liked that I have this because it says I've only bought of Knowles, which is the company the vendor that I've been buying pretty much every pre-order except for this very last one. I only had brought in 17 items. That's not a lot compared to what I was doing in 2023. And even a little bit in 2024. So that's a purchase. Um, I've used up 23, so I've used more than I brought in this year. So that's good. That's definitely in the right direction. The other one, Scentsy, I've purchased or brought in 78 units have come in, and I've used 100. So again, that's a positive direction. That's why my numbers every month I have come down every single month. I have not creeped up, in any of the months this year. So that's another thing I'm super proud of. Second and Spruce, I bought 8. I've used up 14. So just doing really, really well. Teddy Bees, I only brought in 7 this year. 7 total of Teddy Bees. I've used up 24. Candle Nurse, 16 came in. I've used 23. So I feel like I'm doing really, really well in making positive forward motion into getting down to less. And then this last line here is, if I took out Scentsy, like if it was just vendor only, how much would I have? I'd have 601 pieces of wax. I would have only brought in 80 total from January to end of August as we're taping this right now. And I have used 229. Again, ignoring Scentsy, like if I were just pretend Scentsy didn't exist. And my current total would be at 462 total. So that is something that I'm really happy about. And as you can, if I go back up here, you can see that my net quantity used, and this is what I'm saying, every month, even when I brought in a little, quite a bit, 55 in January or 25 in April, I still managed to warm more than I brought in. And I've talked about this just about every month. It is about being intentional. It is about walking away from that FOMO. It is FOMO. That's all it is. This will pass. Once that, like the first time I skipped, well, let's just say Knowles. This last pre-order was the first pre-order I've skipped since September of 2023. And I thought it was going to be super hard, but I looked at my drawer. I went through everything when I was going through that pre-order list, and I'm like, I have enough. I have enough. And if you didn't watch my ChatGPT video, I'm going to go over there really quick and highlight just something it said about my fall wax and having so much fall wax. And it was just really resetting my mind. And it said, I don't need more wax to enjoy fall. I need less distraction so I can enjoy what I already have. Like, that was a quote it gave me to think about. It said, like, you are fall. You have so much wax, you don't need it. And I think every time a pre-order comes up or something, I stay away from watching hauls. I'm doing what I need to do to kind of protect my brain from knowing that I'm gonna want that FOMO, right? It's novelty, it's FOMO, it's that, but I love wax, or I love this vendor, or I love this scent. But then go back and look at like what you already have. I love beach nights, beach evenings, that scent, but I realize I have so much of it. And as I'm warming it, I'm like, I don't want to get tired of the scent, but I have a lot of freaking beach nights, beach evenings, beach treats types of scent. I don't need any more. I just don't. I want to use what I have and enjoy it. I think the big thing that's happened now that I'm more than a year into this, but let's just talk about 2025. Now that we're through 8 months of it, is that dopamine kick that you get from shopping, of buying something, that like little thrill of like, oh, I just placed an order and oh, I'm so excited, that kind of thing. I'm getting more excited. I feel like I'm getting the same or similar type of a dopamine kick from an empty now. And it's taken this long. This is not something that happens overnight. I've been working on it since last year, and last year I would say I was, okay. This year I was like, nope, we're gonna tighten up even more than last year, and have very specific goals. Like at the beginning of, or at the last monthly check-in, I said I'm only gonna buy 40 more things, bars. I was thinking Scentsy really, but I don't, because I don't need any more vendor wax. I have so much fall, winter, and vendor wax that I said I'm only going to give myself 40, stretch goal of 30. I've bought 10 in, and that's it so far. And by having a very specific goal, those help. Saying low buy, well, what does that mean? Right? What is a low buy? And I think defining specifically what that is will help a lot, because then I'm always thinking, well, it's like having a budget. My budget was 30, 40, 30. I'll just say 30 for now. My budget was 30. So for, everything I want to buy, I have to kind of put it up against that. Is that worth taking that cash out, right? Is it worth that using up, one of those 30? If I only have 30 slots, is this the pre-order? Is this the bar? Is this the scent that's going to take up one of those slots? And that's how I'm thinking about things now. It's being very specific, not vague, like low buy. A no buy is very specific. It's zero, buying zero. A low buy, there's a lot of outs you can give yourself. You can justify things. Well, it's still a low buy, right? But no, this is about having a number, having a budget. Some people, it's financial. For me, it's like how many more I'm bringing in. Or it could be very specific, like with Noel's Farm Scents, my drawer is full. I mean, I can maybe stuff a couple more in there, but it's full. And my goal was always, unless there's room, don't bring any more in. For now, for me right now, it's not unless there's some room, don't bring any more in. For me right now, it's I want to reset. I want to get to like bottom of the drawer before I repurchase from a vendor. That's the mindset I'm in right now because I do have so much fall winter wax. So, being very specific, giving yourself literally boundaries about and sticking to it. I mean, you have to want to. I mean, at the end of the day, all my little tips, me talking through what my journey's been, is not going to help. And this is only again for those of you that really feel overwhelmed. You feel like you have too much. You like want to stop buying. Um, and again, I do not judge. You can spend your money however you want. Not my thing. But if you are one of those that, you think all the time, I have so much, I feel so overwhelmed, that's what's helped me. And eventually, it took a while, but eventually, like I said, having that empty and not refilling it is giving me a dopamine kick. Seeing the drawer as it empties out, that's getting me more excited than purchasing. That's just a mindset I'm in right now. And I'm also in a decluttering mode because, when I look around even here, I need to declutter more. And it's getting kind of harsh about it. I have, and I'll show you some bags. In fact, maybe we'll move upstairs. I'll show you that I have Bath and Body Works lotions and sprays, mists that I hadn't touched in probably 2 years. Why do I still have it? It's taking up room. It's clutter in my life and it's gone bad or it's not, doesn't, I mean, everything has an expiration date. It doesn't smell the same. Or maybe I don't like the scent anymore, or I just feel like when I go to grab it, it's like, oh, okay, I'm trying to use this up. That's not bringing me joy. My word of the year this year was joy. If like I'm forcing myself to use something because I bought it, that's not good. That doesn't bring me joy. Why am I doing that? And I know there are people who don't like declutter videos because it seems wasteful. Well, me buying it in the first place was wasteful. That's when it was wasteful, when I bought so much that I knew I could not use this up in a timely manner. That was me being wasteful. Not now. Now it's clearing the clutter, which it does add some kind of stress, right? There's some stress. Every time you see it, you're just like, oh, it's like, I got to use it or I want to use it or it's just there or you dust around it. So yeah, this morning I just said, and I've been thinking about it for a few weeks now when I'd look at my bookshelf and I'd be like, yeah, I don't like that scent or I don't reach for it and I feel like I have to. Well, you know what? I'm a grown woman. That money was spent. I can't get it back. It's old. It's not like I just got it last week. That would be probably wasteful. This is stuff that, I bought it during time when we were kind of still in COVID and, there was, shopping. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff to bring me joy. So it's time to say goodbye to that stuff. And, I'm taking one area of my life at a time because, I'm trying to, I'm not going to do it all at once. I just don't have the time to do it all at once, but focusing on one thing at a time has been super helpful. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in this video. And then going into kind of health and wellness, I didn't lose any weight this month, didn't gain any weight this month. So I'm happy with that. And I was thinking about it and I'm like, you know what? I'm not disappointed necessarily. And the reason being is all of these past maybe 2 months where I've really, it's been a month and a half where I've been writing down, like keeping a health wellness journal of, daily weigh-ins, whether, my energy level, what I ate, all of that stuff. And I did talk about this in my ChatGPT video. It's helping me keep track and then it's giving me insights. And I've never had those insights before. And I think what this past month has helped me is okay, um, I really know where I've been inconsistent and why I didn't lose any more weight. It wasn't menopause. Yeah, maybe that makes it harder. I'm sure it does. But because of obviously the weight isn't falling off like it was when I was 30 or 20, right? But but I now know like what it takes, if that makes sense. So the reason I haven't lost any weight, I would say it's just because, well, this past week I actually did. I dipped down to 7 pounds. So last month it was 5 pounds. I dipped down to 7 pounds, kind of brought it back up to 5. So it's those 2 pounds that go up and down. It's water. But this week I did have pasta 3 times this week, and some sourdough bread and butter. And I did go out to eat yesterday and we had some pizza. And so I know what it is, but the fact that I've maintained it, even though I had some indulgent meals and had, I think, 2 work dinners, um, but the fact that I maintained it and didn't gain, I'm like, I can see why. I can see why. I'm learning to do these micro changes, and that's what I wanted to talk about. They're micro. So to me, it's not a diet. To me, it's not like a big switcheroo that I'm doing. I don't feel deprived at all. That's why I had the pasta this week. I hadn't had pasta in like 6 weeks probably, whereas 5 months ago, a year ago, all prior to me kind of really keeping track of what I'm eating, I would have a pasta meal just about every week. Easy. Easy, I would have that. And so many more carbs and so many more things. So these are just micro changes. So again, I'm not trying to go on a diet. I'm not trying to lose weight fast or anything. I'm good. I mean, I am pretty good. I'm not complaining. All my clothes fits. I haven't like not been able to fit into something. So that's not my issue. My issue is the older I get, I just want to make sure I maintain. And all my life I had a threshold. I had a threshold of how much I wanted to weigh for my height, my body type, and I went over it. I went over it by 10 pounds. And so now it's me trying to get those 10 pounds down again. So it's not that I feel bad or anything like that. It's just again, I've always wanted to not allow myself to creep up. Everything for me is always in moderation. So even the wax thing, right? I don't want to get to a point where it's out of control. Same thing with my weight. I don't ever want to get to a point where I feel like it's out of control. And so that's why I've been focusing on my health and wellness and weight this year, but mostly in the last few months. But going back to the micro changes. So all I've done is I'm drinking more water. And something I learned this month that I'm happy about is in the past it was drink more water because I'm terrible at drinking water. So it's just drink more water. But going back to even what I mentioned with the wax goals, now it's very specific, and I caught that this past week. Do I have it back there? Yeah, my water bottle, that's 40 ounces. It's 2 of those a day, at least. That is my goal. So it's 80 ounces, 80 ounces a day. And I've noticed when I do that, I flush out a lot of the sodium. I notice my water retention doesn't go up as high as it used to in the past. I found out having bananas also help with getting rid of a lot of the sodium from, salami, more the stuff I've been eating, right? Cheeses or Chinese. I love Chinese food. So, when I have those indulgences, it's like, okay, what do I do to flush a lot of this out faster than before? And that's a micro change. drinking 80 ounces of water. It's very clear. I know what I need to do. It's not just more. It's not like this vague thing. It's 80 ounces. Before it was drinking more, but now we're at the 80-ounce line. And that's the micro changes. Before it was like, let's just start. It's more, doing more than before. And then I realized, okay, I'm doing more than before. So then now it's like, okay, what is a set thing that I can do? Um, what else? I didn't used to like Greek yogurt like 2, 3, 4 years ago when I first tried it. Now I love it. Now it's a treat. So I have my little yogurt. I'm pretty much my breakfast stays the same. And another thing that I found that really works is when I have high protein breakfast, I usually have a good weigh in the next day, typically. And so I love my little chia seeds. It's chia seeds, berries, Greek yogurt. And if I don't feel like I've gotten enough protein, I'll even drop some protein powder in there, like a third of a cup to half a cup. And when I do that, because it makes it thicker, I'll just put a little water in it. And then it doesn't feel so pasty thick. So that is something that I've done in my smoothie. So that's kind of my rotation. I'll either do my egg scramble with veggies, I'll do my chia seeds when I need to go to work and eat something fast, and make sure I have protein in there, or I'll do my green smoothies in the morning. Also, make sure I add protein powder in there. And then the other micro change is strength training. I only did it twice this month. So September, I want to get into. I'm creating a metric, a goal, and that is strength training at least 2 to 3 times a week. Before it was just do some strength training. Now it's 2 to 3 times a week. And this is something I'm setting for September. And then the walking, again, 4 to 5 times a week. Walking was inconsistent in the beginning of the month, and then now we're back in it. So just being specific. So walking 4 to 5 times a week, strength training 2 to 3 times a week, and having high protein in the morning. I watched a YouTube video last night, and it was about an anchor habit, and it was about she was basically saying that if find yourself yo-yoing back and forth, it's because you don't have a consistent anchor habit. It's like your body just feels like you have to start over. You're starting over all the time. But if you have this consistent habit that's like a thread through everything, you'll be surprised. And she's a fitness trainer, and she's, worked with a lot of people. So I'm going to try this anchor habit and see if that makes a difference or not. So another thing I want to do in September is do these kind of like try things, that I see on YouTube or I hear about, and see if they work. So the anchor, that's why I really said 80 ounces of water every week. That's really a day, 80 ounces of water. That is my anchor habit. I'm going to try to get those 4 to 5 walking days and 2 to 3 strength training. So that hasn't been a consistent anchor, but if I were to pick one thing, and this is what she said, if it's a anchor habit, it needs to be something that you can do, that you can do on your busiest days. And I have some busy days where I don't get home. I leave at like 7:30 in the morning or 8 in the morning, and I'm not back at home until 9, and I'm wiped out by then. So I'm like, what is that easiest habit that I can do? That would be my anchor habit. So that's water. If I get home at 9, I'm not going for a walk outside when it's dark out and things like that. So, but water I can drink throughout the day. That'll be my anchor habit. So we'll see. We'll see where I'm at next month. But I think September was just, again, me learning more about my body, how it reacts to certain foods, as far as, where there's that weight gain, where there's that weight loss. And it's really water at this point. It's like this 3 pounds, this 3 pounds, and it's water. And it's clear as day. If I eat something indulgent or with a lot of, salt, sodium, um, I will see that weight spike the next day. And what's funny is, And this is where water washing it out in that banana helped. One day when I woke up, because that's when I do my weigh-ins, wake up and that's when I feel like I'm going to be the lightest. I weighed in and then, went about, I think I even had breakfast. But I was drinking a lot of water, had a banana, and then I was going to go take my shower, and I figured, well, I'll just weigh in. I'm just curious, what did the breakfast do? I actually lost weight, which I was like, what? But it's water. It's just water. It's just like going through your system. So that's kind of interesting for me. If you know this, if you've been like a super healthy nutritionist, what I'm saying is nothing new. But for me, someone who just never had to worry about it or think about it, this is all stuff I'm learning myself. So maybe it is to you, maybe not, but that's that. So let's go upstairs and I'll show you what I'm getting rid of. Yeah, it's good. Okay. All right, so now we're upstairs. I have 2 bags. Oy! Two of these. They're about the same, equally full. This is all going to the garbage. And I know I look at this and I go, why did I buy this stuff? But some of this just doesn't, it's old, it's expired. I look at it and have no desire of using it. And I know some people might say, well, why don't you give it to someone who likes it? Because this is like 4 years old, okay? Everything has an expiry date on here. It just doesn't smell right. Or I checked online, like, is this okay to keep? And it's like, no. So yeah, so I have 2 of these. This is the other bag. I have 2 of these, and it's not all of it. It's not all Bath and Body Works. Some of it's just old skincare and things that as I was cleaning that. But yeah. But you know what? I'm not going to miss it. I know I'm not going to miss it. I did this last year where I decluttered stuff that, kind of same thing, Bath and Body Works that I hadn't used in a while. And have I thought about it? Have I regretted any of it? Not at all. So I know, if anything, it's giving me better peace of mind, and it was a learning. I won't do that again. And I haven't shopped at Bath and Body Works in a year. And it was because my mom needed me to go there to get her some stuff, and I was looking at candles, and I bought like 1 candle or 2 maybe, and 1 small tube of like a half size of body cream and a body mist. But that is it. I know now, didn't know then when I bought all this stuff, how long it takes me to use it up. And here's the thing too with the wax numbers. I didn't say this when I was recording the wax part. For every bar that I bring in, it's 1 bar in my current stash I am not using. Does that make sense? So when I had said, I think I would have been down to like 477 had I not brought anything in. Well, because I brought in, I forget the number. I should have gone back and looked, but it was like 153, I think. Imagine, I've been using that like same 153. Now I'm below that, right? But it's like for every bar I bring in, that's a bar I'm not using. And it's kind of the same thing with all of this Bath and Body Works stuff. It was like wasn't reaching for it, or when I looked at it and be like, okay, I have to use it, which means that I'm not using the perfumes that I bought and that I have, because I don't want to mix, even though some can mix well and complement each other well, but it's like, well, I don't want to put on all the scent and then throw on perfume on top of it. That's just not me, unless they complement each other very well. But then that takes a lot of work. It's like, okay, well, these 2 would go good together. But I would much rather use my perfumes than this. And because I wanted to keep saying, well, just use it up, then I'm never getting to my perfumes. It's the same thing. If I'm always bringing in wax, I'm never getting to the stuff I have, because it's just, it's just more that you're bringing in. So learn my lesson. I won't do that again. And I don't know. It's too big. The bottles are too big, too much for me. It's just not my size. Now with Scandalous Cosmetics,
Let me grab one. So with Scandalous Cosmetics, one, I do like this because I know I'm supporting a small business. Stacy's the owner, and she's been doing this for a long, long time. And this is like more my jam. This is more my size. And last year was the first time I bought Scandalous Cosmetics. And I mean, I don't know. I have these little lines here. That's almost done. And this was last year. And so I feel like I can definitely make a dent in this. And it doesn't feel like so much. And I don't feel so overwhelmed. And I really like this. So I did place an order, which you'll see a pre-order. I think it's just body oil and a mist. And then I think I bought like a body cream with magnesium. I just wanted to try some of the other things that I have not tried from her, just to try it. I think I bought a hair milk or something like that. So I've never tried that before. So it's a small order of things I don't have or haven't tried before, with the exception of a body oil and a body mist, which I do have several, but this is stuff that I really like. I like the scent of it. It's still, not 5 years old, like the bags on the floor. And so if you see that video, you're like, well, I should buy more stuff. It's very small. And so that is that. So, but I do want to get to my perfumes, and I just haven't been because this was always in the way. This feels like the weight of all stuff that was getting in the way of me using up what I really truly wanted to use up. And because I'm not reaching for this, it's garbage now. So that's that. So with that being said, similarly, skincare makeup, that's another area where, I've just bought. But again, this year, not so much. Maybe more skincare, hardly any makeup unless it's like mascara or something that I run out of, right? It's to buy something I'm out of. But I haven't bought any eye palettes. I haven't bought, anything that is just like a little extra thing to have. Skincare, maybe a little bit, but I already had so much to begin with. And it might have been close to a year ago that I made a video about beauty pie, like all the beauty pie I had. And I didn't realize I had all that because someone had asked me, like, what do you still use beauty pie? What do you use? So I made a video for it, and it was Laura. And when after I finished that video, I'm like, I have too much. Like, I don't even know what all this is. So the other night, I got it, I had a little bug up my butt, and I said, like, how much of this do I have? And do I even know what this all does? Like, I know what vitamin C does and niacinamides, and I kind of know those, but I had all these like body, not a body, like a face oil and this serum and youth balm and this, and, 4 different types of eye cream and 3 toners. And I mean, it's just like the list went on and on and on. And I'm like, I don't even know what this stuff does. Like, I don't even know if it's doing anything to my face. I have good skin. I've been very blessed. Thank you to my mom. She's got great skin, and she's in her 80s. And I mean, she looks like people think she's in her 60s. And so I feel like I got influenced to buy all of these things because I've always loved skincare, because I've always, my entire life, have believed in taking care of your skin. You only get it once. Don't go ruining it, right? That's just been me. That's a me thing. And so genetics play a role in that. I'm 53. I get compliments often on that I look younger than that. I mean, you have to get up close to see like little fine lines over here. Sometimes my little line there, but I mean, for the most part, they're fine. They're not like deep wrinkles and roots. I don't know what I'm saying, deep wrinkles. And so it's just like, ooh, I gotta take care of my skin. But I'm like, do I need all this stuff? Like, really? Like, I don't know what this is doing. I don't notice a difference because I've been using it for so long. And so I don't notice a drastic change because I don't think that I would, right? I don't need a drastic change in anything. So this is my little ChatGPT moment. I know I seem to have them now for every month here, but let me see if I can find it because I have it on my phone. I went through I went shopping in my bathroom basically and threw it all in a bag, and I said, like, what is this? How do I, am I even using it in the correct order? Like, help me prioritize this and get rid of it. And so it gave me a routine. It's almost like a project use it up, but for skincare. And it's given me a routine on what I can use and the one I could rotate in to use it up. It then also, in a different chat, told me like how long it's going to take me to use this stuff up. Could be 5 to 7 months. And also because of some stuff being so old, like I don't remember when I bought it. It was definitely over 2 years ago. I was like, throw that out. So that's some of the stuff that's in those bags as well. And then it gave me then I said, I think in it, I didn't want to combine two things that might not be good. Like you don't want to mix like maybe some retinols with something with AHAs. Again, I'm not a skincare guru. That's why I'm asking for help. I want to make sure whatever I'm putting in layers of that they're not going to irritate my skin or anything like that. So it's given me a morning routine of, my cleansers, which I always wash my face in the morning, and kind of rotating the cleansers because I have 4 cleansers. Toners, I have like 3 toners. And some of it's a mist, some of it's like Korean skincare that I have. So it's like, use this, and then use these up first, like prioritizing. And then it gave me an evening routine for Monday night will be my retinol night. Tuesday night will be repair night. Wednesday will be exfoliation night. Thursday, retinol night again. Friday, recovery. Saturday, retinol night. And Sunday, hydration. So this way I'm kind of cycling through what I have to use up some of that skincare. And then at some point I might just say, okay, enough. But it's good stuff. It's stuff that I bought. It's still good. I want to use it. And then, and so that's one thing that ChatGPT helped me. It told me how many, these are toners. These are all cleansers, even though one's exfoliating and one's a scrub and but this is kind of the category. And then the other thing that it's helped me do is go through that. And it gave me what I really wanted out of all of this was, what can I get rid of? Like that I just bought because I was influenced. It's, maybe I'm getting it in other things already. And I've been getting back into castor oil. I'm going to go on a little side tangent, but I promise to come back. A year ago, there's all these videos on castor oil on YouTube, and I bought some. And I tried it maybe like 4 times, and I'm like, oh, this is sticky. It's really it's sticky, and I just wasn't prepared for it, I think, and I kind of quit using it. But something happened. I was watching something, and it came back around, and I'm like, I still have that bottle. It's still good. Oil gets bad. You'll smell it. It'll smell rancid or it'll be cloudy or something. But my castor oil was still good. And it was a big thing. And I'd given my mom some and, all of that. Because she's also doesn't have a lot of eyelashes and neither do I. And I definitely got good skin from her. But I also don't have a lot of hair. And same with eyebrows and eyelashes. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to attempt this like a challenge. I'm making this like a 30-day challenge, 60-day challenge. So I'm maybe 3 weeks in of using castor oil. And so at the end of this routine of the, on Monday nights, so then at the end of that, of my skincare routine that ChatGPT helped me get through with all the stuff I have. I'm putting castor oil on my face, and I'm going to see, and I will get back to you and tell you if I do notice what I'm hoping for. And some of the things that people have experienced that it's known for is growing in more hair or having fuller eyebrows or eyelashes getting longer. So that is, I'm waiting to see. I hear it works slowly. It's a natural thing versus something, I don't know, with chemicals or made in a lab. So basically what I'm doing is slugging at night, but instead of using like Vaseline, I'm using castor oil. So I will give an update. I've been using it just about every day on my face. I'll give you an update. So far, I haven't noticed anything dramatic. Um, but I have heard from a coworker, works great for inflammation. I don't have anything like that on me that I can test. But I did have a little bump on my, you can't see it, but a little bump here, and it did dry out and come off. So now it's still there, but the part that was, it came off. So it's done little things. I think it's prevented my bruises. I did get a bruise. In fact, I can barely see it. Yeah, I got a bruise I just hit the corner of a table and it scraped my thigh, and I was like, oh, that's gonna be ugly. And I've put some castor oil on that, and it really hasn't. It's barely noticeable. So I have seen some changes with castor oil, but that's a to come in the future on. Let's see what it did. But that was all kind of tied to my skincare, and so I'm looking for something maybe natural instead of buying all these things that cost a lot of money, and I don't know that I need them all. This is going back to my point that I started with, is ChatGPT has, it knows because I've told it, like my combination skin, I can get very oily here and sometimes here, but mostly this area, I can get very oily. And so I said, hey, do I need all this stuff? Like, now that you know what I have, because it knows everything. I gave it, I basically, what I did was, on a voice memo on my phone, I recorded as I was going through all my skincare, and I'm like, okay, I have like a quarter of this. Here's, I read off what it was, how many ounces it was, and like how full it was. So it's got everything that I have. And it suggested, based on my skin type, of an anti-aging oil. So when I'm done with a lot of the skincare I have, then I will do that. I'm not going to buy more. I'm trying not to buy more when I already have enough, but it recommended, it's like grapeseed, argan. I can't remember the third. And it has like a morning recipe that I can use, and then an evening that's a little thicker, and it's supposed to be like anti-aging. So I'm going to see. I'm going to give that a try eventually. This will be further down. This might be like 7 months from now, but maybe in the name of simplifying, like having less of clutter, simplifying and having less skincare and stuff that I just had way too much, in the name of simplifying other things. I'm like, maybe I can just use this really nice oil at the end of the day, or in the morning as I'm getting ready, and that will cover a lot of the needs that I have for my skin. So that's a TBD further down, but it was all in the name of, I'm in this simplifying mood. Less is more, less is more. And then I asked it, okay, if I do use that recipe, that oil, I forget I have to look it up. But if I do use that recipe, what things do I need to fill the gaps? Like, where are there some gaps, right? Like sunscreen, obviously, and things like that. Or, do I need like a retinol, right? I would still probably buy a retinol. So there'll be certain things, but now everything in my skincare would be it's almost like what do they call it? Those, oh gosh, the name is escaping me. When you do a minimal closet, it's not curated. It's not the word I'm looking for. That was popular a while back, when you just have a small closet of a couple things in your wardrobe. Capsule wardrobe. It's like a capsule skincare thing for me. That's what I hope to eventually get to at some point after I use some of this stuff. So that is a lot. I thank you for hanging out with me. I think that's all I wanted to share. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to share. That's been my month and what I'm looking forward to. As far as videos go in September, you will see, I've been talking too much. You will see I go through all my fall and winter excuse me, Actually, I go through all my Scentsy pretty much, but mostly fall and winter. I need water. Hold on. I needed water. So going back to wax, because this is my main channel, my main content. I Another way for my mind to say you have too much was I started going through all the Scentsy fall and winter that I have. And I just, while I was in there, I just said, oh, let me just bring the camera in and I'll share my fall and winter collection. And going through that made me realize, yeah, I don't need anything, which is why I do think I probably don't need to buy anymore this year. I think that 30 bar goal will be very easy because I went through it. I may have my club come around this time because it has been 2 years that I've been kicking it to the curb. So I may do that, and then that will be my 20 bars, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I do have that video if you want to see all my Scentsy. I did it, I don't know if I did it last year. I think I did it 2 years ago. So, but if you're newer and haven't been watching, or just want to see what I've got now, that video will be coming. I will also have my books. Oh, I read a great creepy book. It's so good. It was my favorite book of the month. So that's coming, my book review. And what else? I'll do another kind of deeper dive. Those of you that do like the ChatGPT content, I will do a deeper dive on the money coach because some of you asked me for that. And so, yeah, I got a lot coming. I will also be traveling in September. So my videos will be whenever I drop them. I try not to drop videos like back to back, like give people a day, a breather away from me, but catch up and stuff like that. But they'll be dropping in sporadically. And yeah, lots of good stuff. So if you enjoyed this, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I do this once a month and it's just kind of a life chat, catch up, and that's it. So thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will chat with you later. Bye-bye.